What's happening,
What's
everyone?
up, guys? Malt reviews time. Malt review style bottle time.
Legendary Springbank time. Springbank 25-year-old. J. Archibald Mitchell. Dumpy style bottling. 46% ABV. These old school Dumpy, heavy sherried 80s and 90s releases of Springbank are just phenomenal. We have brought out the 21-year-old before, and now we're bringing out the 25-year-old. This one happens to be a Swiss import bottling. And yeah, 25-year-old J. Archibald Mitchell Springbank 25.
Now, I can't remember. Did we ever do the miniature of the John Mitchell 21? We just haven't.
That's a great
Can't
question.
remember,
I
because
can't remember if we reviewed
the
it.
21 comes in the best, known as the best, probably older stuff, is the John Mitchell. And then we did the J. Archibald Mitchell, which is same labeling as this. And there's a heavy rye as well, which is not known as the best. But this is 25, as far as I know, 25-30 only come in J. Archibald Mitchell.
That's right.
And non-chill filtered, even you got a little bit of the cask sediment in the bottom. That's how you know it's real deal.
This was a fairly recent purchase, and if you guys look on our Instagram, you'll see that it actually arrived with the cork kind of off, slightly leaked, but still fully intact, and just good old Springbank, because Springbank, the original Springbank corks are not the
worst
greatest.
ever. So only good news was, because the cork was so loose, didn't have to mess with the cork, crack it in the whiskey.
That's right.
Only good news.
That's right.
Here we go, on the nose.
This is whiskey ecstasy. This is...
Wow, only 46%? Really?
This is one of the best examples of heavy musky funk, heavy musky dunnagey funk, but also bright and juicy fruits. So you're getting that extreme dark element, but you're also getting the fresh juicy fruit element all on one nose.
I'm literally putting this on as cologne right now, dude. It's so musky. No, yeah, he said it perfectly. You're getting that dirty, heavy honey mustard, sherry vinaigrette that we love in these bottlings, this era. But then you're also getting those like bourbon style, like in some of those bourbon local barleys, just and also we did the 1 year release, the standard single dark, 12-year 100 proof.
Yeah.
It was just a bourbony tropical fruit paradise. You're getting both in here, which is absolutely insane.
This is original Springbank funk.
This is the real Springbank funk.
That mustard funk with sweet honey, grilled pineapples.
Oh yeah.
Papaya, mango and peach.
So much peach,
grape,
apricot, yeah.
And mandarin and kumquat.
It's like your best like cinnamon applesauce and like cinnamon glazed, super syrupy apricots, peaches, but then it's like singed. Like you're saying, the grilled pineapple, it's a little grilled, little singed. That's the Campbelltown influence.
And the minerality aspect of this is so light and delicate.
Yes.
The peat aspect of this is so rusty. It's a rusty, mustardy, funky, mellow, sweet, sugary peat.
Yep.
That's in the background more.
Yeah, it's like flambéed or like creme brulee rusted peat. It sounds weird, but you could put it that way.
It's got this beautiful flat cola. You know, like when you nose flat cola versus like heavily carbonated cola.
Right.
It's got a flat cola note.
Totally.
Rich cola.
Totally.
Almost a little root beer because of the mustard funk with the cola. If you want to go there, you can.
Yeah, no, you always get like that root beer kind of sassafras root in there when you're getting to that world. Oh yeah.
But the dunnagey, sandalwoody, musky, moldy sherry combined with the papaya, kind of mango and lychee and grilled pineapple thing going on.
Lychee.
All that combined is making this a very, very special whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, the complexity of it, of being able to integrate those two worlds is unreal.
These are not that much more than the current, if you're going to auction, it's not much more than a current release Springbank 25.
I thought you weren't going to tell him.
Oh, that's true. He's right. It's like it's a stupid secret. What's your risk? I guess your risk is you might get if you're a collector, your risk is it might arrive with the cork off, which is what happened to us.
Right.
But we were going to open it anyways, and we probably lost maybe an ounce or half.
And then,
or so
very common thing if you're a collector, this little thing chips off and stuff, right?
Yes.
So if you're a drinker, try to find this missing or heavily chipped. Like the J. Archibald Mitchell we got, 21, was heavily chipped. If you're a drinker, who gives a
Find
shit?
a bad label,
All you care about is the
you
fill
know,
level.
yes.
Yeah. As long as the fill levels is pretty good, try to limit oxidation.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's again, Springbank always risk loose cork. But yeah, if you're a drinker, it's a pretty good value.
Mike, a couple weeks ago, I tried the latest, second to latest, but 2022 release
25
of the 25,
right.
And you just can't even compare the two.
And that's what I'm worried
You
about.
just can't even compare, and the fact that this might be, I mean, how much more is this? I guess it's more. It is more. You're gonna pay more, but it's not like it's twice as much.
Right.
You know, you're paying, but you are gonna pay about 50% more.
But once it's very similar to the old 60s, Bowmore mango fruits, or the old 50s, 60s Lafroig fruits, or the old 50s, 60s, 70s Macallan, dark, damp, musky sherry. Once you get addicted to this profile,
yeah,
I can't believe it's not going for more. Thank God it's not for us. Obviously, we want to try to get the 30 as well.
Yeah.
Bring you the whole lineup.
Yes.
This is
we've
amazing.
we've tried the 30. We just don't currently have a full bottle of the
Correct.
Dumpy 30.
Correct.
Yeah. Palate.
Cheers.
Mm. Mm. Cloying.
Wow. You're the honey. Oh my God.
A million different kinds of honeys. That rich beeswax, rich honey. Moldy sherry. Oof. Rich. Drinking like 50% ABV.
Yeah.
Really, really rich.
Oh my God. And the most syrupy tropical bourbon fruits. Like not fruit juices, fruit syrups. So concentrated.
It's quite a bit more sandalwood musk on the palate than it was on the nose. It was both that and the brightness.
Mm-hmm.
But on first sip here, it's a lot more of the Dunnagey underground, sandalwood, musk, mustard and honey funk on the palate, cola on the palate, root beer on the palate. And then more in the background and more as it finishes, you're getting some more of those luscious fruits. They're less bright and fresh. They're a little drier on the palate.
Right. Yeah, if you have to break it down, like not that it's bourbon, but like the bourbon style tropical fruits, yeah, definitely.
Do you want one drop?
Less, yes. Definitely less on the palate than nose. Yeah. It is dark, Dunnagey, Springbank funk.
Yeah.
Honey mustard. Dirty, rusted mustard. Yeah. We always say like how Bowmore Lafroig, the old school peat can be like peat candy. I think what's coming out of this sweet peat is like that sweet honey mustard. That sweet honey mustard is that old school Campbelltown, like light to medium sweet peat. That's all I can think of.
It's very interesting. Right off the bat, when you put a drop of water, the wet rock kind of mineral note pops up so much
Boom.
more.
It's like I'm on the coast now.
right away.
I'm right on Campbelltown Lock, and the water's just splashing in my face.
It really, really pops out with just one drop of water. And keep in mind, I have less than half ounce in my glass right now, so that one drop in comparison, right? But yeah, a lot of brightness, a lot of freshness on the nose that I didn't get as much of on the palate. I kind of wish I did. It's still an unbelievable whiskey. If it was just that underground, dunnagey, funky, rich, moldy sherry style whiskey on the nose and palate, it's still an unbelievable Springbank. But the fact that it had the brightness on the nose as well,
it's teasing you.
It's teasing you because you want it on the palate is when I didn't get it fully on the palate. But let's do one more sip.
But yeah, definitely, like you said, that drop of water added a lot more of the coastal and sea spray effects with all the other goodness. Yep.
Right away.
Oh my God, dude.
The honey's a little bit lighter on second sip with water. And I am getting a little apricot and peach.
Oh my God, I just got it, dude. Yeah, like the honey was, like you said the first time, less cloying, less sweet. The mustard was much more like rustic, even dirtier, more herbal. And all of a sudden, those apricots, peaches, lychee, kumquat, it's coming out.
I think it's a combination of, now in the finish, the darker notes are taking over again, but I think it's a combination of you introduce it to the palate the first time, and then the second time you experience something a little different and a little bit of water.
Yep.
I think those two factors. But as now, I'm getting like a library, old school books and papers and sandalwood and that leather chair and the dustier, moldy sherry kind of elements all lingering on the back. Dude. Yeah, it's really funky.
Yeah. No, you said it's getting older and dunnagey cobwebs. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing YouTube videos now for 9-10 years. Yeah. And if you watch our old videos from the very beginning, we were talking about Springbank funk a lot.
Right.
Back then when no one was talking about Springbank funk, but we were more talking about it amongst this style.
This funk.
Yeah. Springbank still has funk, but it's changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, on a recent video, to give props to the Whiskey Baron, remember they went to Campbelltown.
I didn't see it, yeah.
And because the Whiskey Baron, probably who knows, hospitality, but maybe because the Whiskey Baron bottled a great Springbank.
Yeah, which we've reviewed.
They were able to go into, I forget which warehouse number, but not the main warehouse, but the warehouse where this barrel was aged, these barrels were aged, and there was literally thick mold all around the walls. And we're like, that's that moldy old school Springbank funk.
We use sherry mold as a tasting note all the time.
Exactly. And rust. One day we'll go there ourselves and we'll be drinking funky moldy Springbanks like this in the warehouse.
I mean, this just
it's right
really...
there, man.
The only thing I could say is if you like bourbon matured whiskeys a lot more than sherry matured whiskeys, then perhaps you will like the new style of Springbank 25 more than this.
True.
It's not as distillate forward. Obviously, the cask has a lot to say, but it's so Springbank.
Well,
and I would bet anything that blindly I would know that this is old Springbank. have had it so many times now where you just know that profile is old Springbank. So it is very Springbank, but the cask also has a lot to say.
Yeah, and part of it is it can be an acquired taste, but also part of it is some people don't recognize right away that profile. Like they don't get that.
Well, you need time to
that
experience
dirty, nasty honey mustard sherry vinaigrette. Yeah,
of course.
You need time to fully grasp like those sensations on your nose and palate.
Yeah, and the whiskeys like this, if you've only had half an ounce from a sample and that's all you've ever had, it's a little more difficult versus having 30 different bottles you've gone through throughout your journey.
And like all the miniatures we've had, like every possible miniature, and and if you never get that, you're never going to become addicted like we are.
Yeah, well, man, that might be a good thing.
Might be a good thing.
That might
for
be a
us.
good thing.
Don't tell anybody.
This is phenomenal, Mike. How would you score it?
I'm gonna go 94 out of 100.
I'm going exactly the same exact thing. I'm a 94 out of 100 with this guy. It is spectacular. If that bright freshness of the luscious fruits that I was getting on the nose, which has bumped it up to a 94, if I was getting as much of that on the palate, it would reach that 95 hallelujah
Right.
status.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
But it is at a 94, which is spectacular, must-try kind of
Must try.
unicorn whiskey score.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at it.
Welcome to the collection.
You're welcome to the collection, baby. Thank goodness for these wine corks, because they definitely stay on.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Let us know. Thumbs up's appreciated if you guys enjoyed the review. If you want to see more reviews like this, we still have a lot of old school bottlings to be bringing. Both Springbank, Bowmore, Lafroig, all those amazing distilleries from back in the day. So many more of these old school legendary bottlings to come, and we'll see you soon for many more.
Cheers, guys.
Let's launch.